I can't do it. Good morning, Care Bears. This is your girl, Miss Deeva, the Queen of Hearts. That's how I was asked to introduce the show based on the the email I got as far as this topic. But good morning, Diva Nation and WRJRians. Of course, it's your girl, Miss Diva, and a young man wrote in from Virginia. Good morning, Michelle. And, he dropped in a subject. Good morning, BB. And he wanted to talk about what it means to be committed for men and for women. So I'm going to need y'all to chime in on this one. No, I did not comb my hair. My head still hurts. So we're going to work on that a little later. Good morning, Al. Hi, Alex. Good morning. What happened to you yesterday? But anyway, today's subject is what does it mean to be committed? And we're talking from the male and the female perspective. Obviously, I can only speak for a woman. But in general, to me, to be committed means that you have a solid bond with another person. And that means that there's no other man, no other woman. You spelled my name wrong, Al. And, things get hard. You work through it. You don't give up. You don't push the other away. You're there for each other. You fulfill a need for that person. They fulfill one for you. Good morning, Robert. And this is somebody you can depend on. It's like I always say, I want somebody that can be my rock when I can't be my own, but let me do the same for him. That to me is commitment, because that just lets him know that nobody else trumps him. Nobody else would I put before him other than God. And that he means more to me than just a casual friend. Good morning, Arnisha. So that's what it means for me. And then Demetria is saying, committed equals no outsiders, communication, you are the yin to their yang. Exactly. I say this a lot because I know there's no such thing as a perfect relationship, but there are individuals that come together and fit perfectly together for each other. I believe that to be the case in a lot of relationships, like the new ones that I've seen over the last couple weeks, couple months. It's beautiful to me because they show their commitment to each other. And by that, it's letting other people know, hey, I'm his, and he's saying I'm hers. So from a female perspective, for me, being a female, I'm from the show me state. Yeah, tell me what I need to hear. That's great. But I need you to show me that commitment. And, of course, the ultimate commitment is that ring, not even talking about the wedding, because that's just, a formality. I'm talking about being committed enough to somebody, wanting to be with somebody enough to want to make it a permanent thing. We live in such a quick fix, give up easily society that a lot of people just don't take that step. They just, on to the next one when things get hard. The committed ones to me are the ones that go through the most. They come out swinging, but they don't give up. So to me, that's true commitment. Just like, okay, like guys that I know, guys, sports, football, this game that just went on a couple weeks ago or a couple days ago. Hey, Sharina. Who was it? The Cowboys and whoever else. You see how much Dallas fans were like all through your news feed and, them boys, we them boys, and all this other stuff. That's commitment. They're committed to that team because there's something about that team that drives them in their spirit. Well, I think in a relationship, that should be the driving force. You should have that same passion in a relationship. Um, I watched as somebody near and dear to me decided last night, you know what? My Facebook page needs an overhaul, and he changed his relationship status and changed his cover picture. I thought that was beautiful because sometimes as women, we're not sure where we stand with a man, even though we've been there and we love them and they know that they know we're here. We don't always know where we stand. And let's face it, a lot of us have groupies on Facebook or people that, would slide in a heartbeat if something happened to your significant other. Well, this was his way of letting her and everybody know, I'm hers, she's mine. Nobody's getting in between this. I'm not saying there was this saying about a while back that if it's not real, if it's not on Facebook. I'm not saying you have to do that, but for somebody as private as this guy is to do something like that, that's big. That tells me how truly committed he is to that woman. And, I think that's beautiful. Now, Dimitri is saying people are more committed to material things than to others. Commitment is rare. I agree with that. Give your woman that same passion you give that car, while you're out there lovingly waxing it and washing every weekend, making sure there's nothing on your rims. Give your significant other that same kind of passion. Us out here, buying purses and shoes and, want to take care of these purses and shoes and no, you can't touch that. Don't borrow that. And la la la. Give that same compassion or same passion to your significant other. And she's right. Too many people are committed to things and teams. What about the team of us? That's where your commitment should be. So for me, if I'm going to be committed to somebody, I'm going in 100 grand. You're not going to get part or some of me. You're going to get 100% of me. And that includes 100% of my commitment to you. And I want the same in return. Good morning, Ray. And Sharina said, my guy's listening. He agrees, right? Yep. Oh, good. And Demetrius said, if someone messes them up, be ready to fight. That's right. I often say, I'm a good, loyal woman. And I am that. And I will fight for what's mine, and that includes my man. I'll fight for my kids, but I'm going to fight for my man. So, my commitment is strong. My commitment is in there. Hey, Red, if you don't mind, ask him what his interpretation of commitment is. I'd like to hear from guys too, because, as a woman, I can talk about this all day, what I think it is as far as women. But my main thing is I think we need to be as committed to that significant other as we are to everything else out in the world. It's just like a restaurant. You have a favorite restaurant. They give you crappy service, but I bet you'll go back. Well, they were just having a bad day. So 10 chances to none, you will go back to that restaurant because, if they're just having a bad day, that means it's not like that all the time. Same in a relationship. Commit to that person and commit knowing that it's not always going to be moonlight and roses. You're going to have cloudy days. You're going to have rainy days. It's not always going to be perfect. So that's why that commitment is so important. You got to love them through the good and the bad. And just like the wedding vows, for better or for worse, I think you need to start practicing that before you put a ring on it. If you can't deal with him or her during those lows like you do during those highs, maybe it's time to rethink some things. And Ray's saying loyalty, devotion, dedication. Morning, Tat Rat. Okay, so these are some of the components to being in a committed relationship from a male perspective, which I really want to hear. I wish Doug were awake or watching this so he could chime in because, this is one of the things that we'll probably be talking about when we do our little show, Doug and Deeva, although he hates that name. I'm pretty sure this one is going to come up while we're doing our thing, because I do like to have a male perspective on a lot of these, and this is one of them. But, yeah, if we took each other as seriously as we take, Cowboys versus the Nets, or, that Lincoln MKZ, I may not be saying the name right, but, it's a cute little car. If we took commitment as seriously as we take these things, we would be a much better society, because right now it seems like people will say they're committed and turn around and mess with somebody else, and then come back to that person like they did nothing. It's like there's no conscience. And it's sad. And Tati's saying, if you can't love me at my lowest, then you can't love me at my highest. And I agree with that. You got to love them through all of it. I know I can be a piece of work. I am not even going to lie. And I often thank him for, dealing with me. Because I know, I go full throttle to the left at times, but for the most part, I'm pretty even keeled, but I have my moments, and he's patient enough to hang in there with me. Not a lot of people have that kind of patience. And Al is saying trust and communication. Those are the major components for me. Communicating with somebody is very important, especially because we may not always know what the other's thinking or what they're feeling. And a lot of times we kind of close up and not want to say anything. And I know I do that. So, communication is important. You got to let that other person in. That's a big part of letting the other person in. And that's being able to communicate. And if you can't trust somebody, that makes communication very hard, because why am I talking to you? I don't trust you with this information. So why am I talking to you? So, yeah, those two are major. And Dimitri is saying, I can't talk, though. No, you really can't. Well, we're not going to get into all that here, are we? But, yeah, I think commitment is it's just like when you're getting married. You take that person for better or for worse. Funny you said that, Al. And Al is saying, and yeah, never assume. I do that at times. Yeah, I do too. I made an assumption yesterday and got called out on it, but it wasn't anything to do with the relationship. It had to do with something I thought had happened and it didn't. Cross-dresser. We're not going to get into all that. And Tati's saying, from a lesbian perspective, I need trust, but mostly transparency. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I know we've all been through things. That's a given, because we're human beings, and as good as we are, there's some people that aren't as good to us as they should be. And so we tend to bottle up, close off, share a little bit of ourselves. You can't be 100% committed sharing 50% of yourself. So you have to be transparent. You have to be open. And that's something that I really hadn't done in this relationship that I'm in now, but I'm doing it. I'm a lot better at it. I've done a lot. I've given him a lot more than I've given anybody else. And he's doing the same with me. He's opening up more. So these are things that have to happen in a relationship for it to sustain, not to mention for it to continue. Yeah, gotta love autocorrect. That's why I'm winded sometimes instead of windy. But yeah, I would like some more male perspective. We've got the woman perspective, got a couple guys, got the lesbian perspective. I think this is a good, solid question. So to the person that asked the question, I really appreciate that, because I think this is something that a lot of us need to think about. Good morning, Arnold. What does commitment mean to you? Does that mean, okay, she's my girlfriend, he's my boyfriend, but I'm going to go and, mess with this one? As long as she or he doesn't know, it doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter because now you're taking a chance of bringing something home to him or her. Um, you violated a trust. You violated um, your commitment. Well, yeah, Tati, you're both. Yeah, you can cover both aspects. She says I'm kind of like a guy. You get to cover both teams, okay? But I'm gonna go. I need to go and take something. This headache is still hanging in here like luggage. But I want you guys to keep talking. Put it on this post. Send me a message. Tell me what it is that commitment means to you. See, this is what I meant when I said that it doesn't have to be an issue. If there's something that you want to talk about, we can talk about that kind of thing here too. Because I will give you my perspective. And Ray is saying mutual respect, the bond. Yeah, that's very important. Um, but if I don't respect you, there's no bond. And for me, I have to be able to respect you and trust you. You know, it all comes hand in hand. And monogamy. Arnold is asking about monogamy. That's what commitment means to me. You're with one person, not with one person today. You know, this is my boo, this is my man, my woman, and the next day you're catting around with several other women or men. That's not commitment. That's, it bluntly put, being a hoe. Nobody got time for that. If you're gonna be committed, go full throttle. A lot of people half-ass it. Excuse my language. Y'all know I don't cuss. They half-ass it, and you're cheating that person, and you're also cheating yourself. Because do you really want somebody to halfway be committed to you? No, you got to think about what that other person might feel or what they might be going through. And then so Arnold is saying respect, trust, and communication is crucial. They are extremely crucial. And a lot of people aren't given that. Like, I was looking, I had to like cut off some people from my news feed that post things that are not conducive to these things, although they're in relationships. I don't want to see you disrespecting your significant other. Y'all have an issue, you take it off Facebook, y'all work it out. I don't want to see that in my news feed. You know, because you guys are going to work it out, and then, you know, now you're looking stupid because you've just dogged out your significant other, and now, you know, oh, he's my king, she's my queen. No, that is not, to me, that's not being committed. That's half-assing it, because if you're committed to that person, you're committed to making that work. So you're not putting everybody in your business on a negative tip. You're going to go with that person and y'all are going to hammer this out. And then Dimitri is saying some are being monotonous to being a hoe. You know, I unfortunately see that a lot. And so Tati is saying, sorry, I'm having trouble seeing now. Communication, trust, transparency, 100, no BS, cut and dry, no games, no mind games. Amen. No, we know you have no filter, Tati. She said, F the BS. You're absolutely right. In a nutshell, there it is. That's what commitment means. So if you can't deal with the components of commitment, maybe you're not ready to be committed. Well, in a committed relationship, maybe, you know, if you're doing all this other stuff, maybe you should be committed, like white jacket, you know, tie, yeah. So I like this topic because I like to get the different perspectives. So once again, I'm going to go ahead. If you guys want to continue the discussion, we can continue this on the thread, or you guys can write into me and we can talk about this some more. Tomorrow, this person actually sent me a couple questions, but I knew this one would go kind of long. So we're going to touch on the other one too. And it all, you know, of course it deals with relationships, but I'm going to say this. Yeah, maturity definitely helps. I don't want to be 50 years old dealing with a man with a 12-year-old mentality. No. I've raised my children. I'm not trying to raise somebody else's. So, oh, look at the love. Thank you. So, yeah, there's got to be maturity involved on both sides. You know, my relationship, I've described it as being playful. We are extremely playful with each other, but at the same time, we take care of business. Not a perfect relationship. We're just very good together. But we take care of business. It's okay to play, but when you're constantly in play mode, not a good thing. That's right, Arnold. Facts. I love you too, Tati. Okay, so again, I'm going to go. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to talk about some more of this. And right, Demetria, maturity is not about age. I know some older men who are still hoes. I know some that are still 2-year-olds. I know some that are out there being hoes, but I also know some that are on the ball and doing what they're supposed to do. And one of those is the person I was talking about earlier that changed his entire Facebook to let his girlfriend know, hey, I'm yours. Nobody else can touch this. Because doing what we do, including this other person, the job that they do, it's real easy to attract people and they come at you wrong, and they know you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, they still come at you wrong. So that's his way of letting her and anybody else that can see this know, hey, this is mine. So that's something I may need to think about doing as well, because guys come at me in the wrong direction, even though I do have a relationship status up. So I don't know. Got to talk to him about that. I don't know. But again, I'm going to go. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to talk about the other part of his question. Mr. Virginia, thank you very much. These were great questions, by the way. And you guys can catch me on Love Unlimited Live this weekend from 11 to 2 a.m. out east, 8 till 11 out west. And then back on Sunday for the old school cool down from 5 to 8 out east, 2 to 5 out west. Yeah, I know guys come at you wrong too, Tati. They shouldn't be coming at you at all. Arnold, what time as far as what? Ask Miss Deeva, which, this has a name now, by the way. And we're there. My bosses decided to call it Ask Miss Deeva. So I'll be back here tomorrow, 8:30 my time, which is 7:30 out on the West Coast, and 10:30 out on the East Coast. I'm coming a little later while I'm off because I have, I'm not sleeping well, so I come out a little bit later, and I got to get y'all in between doctor appointments. Demetrius saying, Tati, and don't tell them you are a lesbian either. They have a comeback every single time. Well, the problem with Tati, she is a lesbian, but she's very pretty. So guys are going to flock to that. And yeah, you should be proud of who you are. So no, don't don't not be proud of who you are to please somebody else. That's just who you are. You do with the shorter hair, but you still have a pretty face. You can't, I'm sorry. There's no getting around that. I mean, heck, not all men like women with long hair, okay? But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow morning about 8:30 my time. Yeah, she is. She is still beautiful. And we'll get into this again. Meanwhile, Arnold, no. Stop it. She has no filter, but she pulls no punches either. So you might want to leave her alone. Okay, that's my niece. Don't do that. So, again, I'm going to go. We can continue this. But just let me know what commitment means to you. And we can talk about this actually again on the air this weekend, because on Love Unlimited Live, we do a question. So this would also be a good question for the masses as well. So hang in here with me. Thanks for tuning in. Also, hey, Mr. Rated L is coming back. He'll be back February 21st with live shows. He was doing pre-recorded before. Now he's doing live shows, so you'll be able to call in and ask questions and talk to him live. I'm going to guest host here and there on his show. So, yeah, he's out here in Phoenix now. So, y'all get ready for that. And also, we do a lot of, oh, Jesus. We do a lot of old school and because my format for Sunday is old school, and for my Love Unlimited, a lot of the best love songs are old songs, although I do play some of the newer stuff too. However, we have somebody coming in to do top 40, and that is Cloud9. So he'll be coming on Saturdays preceding me from 9 to 10 p.m. out east, which makes it 6 to 7 p.m. out west. He's going to be doing top 9 with Cloud9 on Saturdays. I think he's going to be starting in the next couple of weeks, so be watching for that. And of course, as always, get your tickets for the Old School Express with the Tar Heel Prince. All right, neutral corners, you guys. Don't make, I'm going to make y'all pull a switch. Stop it. Old School Express leaves the building every Friday night from 7 to 10 p.m. out east, 4 to 7 p.m. out west. No, actually, 7 to 10 p.m. out east, 4 to 7 out west, and then again on Mondays from 8 to 10 out east, and then 5 to 7 out west. So make sure you get your tickets for the Old School Express also. And as always, I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I see 3 people that are about to get a whooping. Y'all better y'all better knock it off. Be blessed, everybody. Bye-bye.